stories that matter. This is Rise and Shine on Channel Africa.
Well, as we've just seen in that report, tensions are flaring between two of America's most high-profile figures, former President Donald Trump and billionaire tech mogul Elon Musk. Trump, never one to back down, has hit back sharply, triggering an ongoing war of words that's playing out online and in real time. So to unpack what this public spat reveals about power, influence, and the state of American politics, we're joined now by Professor Christopher Isike, who's a director at the African Center for the Study of United States at the University of Pretoria. Prof, thanks very much indeed for joining us and welcome to the program.
Good morning, Peter, and thank you for having me.
So what do you make of this very public clash between Donald Trump and Elon Musk?
Well, I'm not surprised, and I'm sure most people are not. I actually predicted it in January when I was asked about this bromance, that it was not going to last very long, precisely because of the fact that these are two personalities that are exactly the same. They are both capricious, they are vengeful, very, rich people with big egos, right? So, and they will stop at nothing. They will stop at nothing to get what they want. So, I think this would be Trump's biggest test in terms of pushback from anyone. And in this case, it's going to be pretty ugly for him because Elon Musk also has his own social media, which he can use to actually prosecute this war of words, social media war between the richest man on earth, as well as probably the most politically strong person in the world.
That last line that you've got, this political power on the one side and economic power on the other, what does that tell us about the situation the United States finds itself in between business and politics?
Yeah, look, it's always been there historically and everywhere else in the world. The connection between business and power, politics, is always been something that people are frowned about because it raises questions around who's really in charge and whose policies win at the end of the day, right? So that political economy needs to be studied more carefully. In this instance, though, you have two, like we said, powerful individuals, very egoistic, mercurial in their nature, that are clashing and want their interest to be top stage, and now that there's a falling out, because many people do not understand what Elon Musk wanted to get from all of this, right? He invested almost $300 million to get President Trump elected and promised to save government spending by $1 trillion US. At the end of the 130 days period, he was only able to save about 175 million. And many will say, well, he didn't achieve what he went there to achieve, but that's on the face of it. There are several benefits from government that he gets, and you've heard from what Sharon was saying about Trump's response to cut some of the government contract he has. So he's protected those. Plus the fact that many he was facing a lot of litigation, a lot of blocks from the U.S. government. He was able to, through Doge, deal with all of those. So pretty much he has achieved what he personally went there to achieve. But now again, goes back to their egos. All of those can come off with Trump now threatening to cut off his contracts from government.
So what we know for sure, in America, to get elected, you need money. And so Elon Musk, for sure, assisted Donald Trump to get to the Oval Office. Is the reverse true, though? Could the same money be a problem for Donald Trump's political reign going forward?
Well, look, I don't think so. It's debatable whether Elon Musk actually got Trump elected, right? Surely he helped. His money really helped in many ways. But there's a chance that Trump could have still won the election, given the antagonism against the Democrat Party, especially with Mr. Biden and the economy at that time. Can Trump will Trump have money problems? I doubt. He's made quite a lot of money, and in since he became president, and he has new friends who also have money. You recall the tech giants that are now behind him, big business fully behind him. So all of them will be willing to chip in. But it raises questions around campaign financing and how much it should be regulated to prevent this kind of situation. Interestingly, though, I must say, oftentimes business normally influence political leaders. In Mr. Trump's case, because he's a maverick, it's been hard for any single factor or individual or force to actually influence him, and that's why I was not surprised that this is happening now, because Mr. Trump has never proved to be completely loyal to anyone, just because of his nature. So he's kind of come out different from most political leaders that are influenced by big money, and I'm sure that because of his character and the way he has done things, he would get people to easily replace the influence that the money influence of Musk in his administration going forward.
Will this have an effect on the Republican Party itself? And Donald Trump has been a huge disruptor on Republican traditions and way of doing things. Elon Musk coming into this feud with Donald Trump, it may embolden some other business people, I wonder, and Republicans in general. What are your thoughts?
Well, maybe not business people, but maybe some Republicans, especially in the Senate. Elon Musk has spoken directly, called out the Senate directly to try and make sure they don't pass this bill. Many of them oppose it secretly. Yes, you are right that this will embolden some of them, especially now that Elon Musk is talking about an alternative party and he has the funding to do so. He helped to elect some of the House of Representatives and Senate members, and he's threatened that he would ensure that some of them don't get re-elected if they vote for this bill. So there could be effect here and there. The issue though is that Trump remains very strong. He's very unpredictable. He's survived worse things. Just talking about the Epstein files, for instance, I don't think that's going to damage him in any way, right? Because of the kind of things that he has survived, from January 6th to the court cases he had. So I don't think that this will affect his fortune personally, but like you said, if you Republicans, especially those in power now, could be emboldened to push back on the bill and take the risk of getting primaried and hope that Elon Musk can bail them in terms of money.
Some people might say, why should we be interested in this feud sitting all the way here in Africa? Your thoughts? Is this something we should be paying attention to?
Oh, absolutely. Whatever deal President Ramaphosa may have struck with Elon Musk in the Oval Office meeting can be at risk now for Elon Musk, because the reason why South Africa may have counter to him in the first place was because of the influence of Mr. Trump. So if that is now off, it means South Africa can stand a bit stronger in resisting some of his overtures with his Starlink, and I'm sure the same thing applies to the rest of the continent.
I would imagine businesses also concerned. I mean, Elon Musk's Tesla company lost 14% value on the stock exchange, which means the stock exchange is taking a hit because of the size of this particular share itself. They can't be happy. Business can't be happy for this kind of uncertainty to be playing out, because cancelling contracts, that kind of thing, doesn't leave one feeling comfortable in the economic space there.
No, no, it doesn't. And this is one of the reasons why some people have argued that Musk would be the greatest losers at the end of the day because of the amount of influence that Trump can bring to bear on his businesses. He's also threatening to cut or terminate, SpaceX and what they are doing for the Department of Defense. He's saying that he's going to be back to spending a lot of time with his companies focused on X, AI, and Tesla, including the Starship launch, which is happening about now. But like you said, yes, there's the economic fallout of all of these, because these inconsistencies, these troubles, if you can call them that, impacts on the bottom line and investor confidence. And I'm sure even his shareholders are not happy. So we will see a lot of turbulence in the coming weeks, and depending on how this goes, if it is handled very quickly between both parties, things can cool down a bit. Otherwise, it will just be a downward spiral for Musk and his businesses, and the impact that this will have for them all over the world.
Professor Isike, we're going to have to leave it there. It's always great talking to you. Thanks so much indeed for your time.
Thank you, Peter.
All right, so that was Professor Christopher Isike, who's the director at the African Center for Study of the United States at the University of Pretoria. And this is certainly an issue, sadly, we cannot ignore. Elon Musk, arguably the most powerful business person on the planet, versus someone who's also regarded as the most powerful in politics. How will this one end? You know what they say, when two elephants fight,